Hi friends, it's Heather McConley, and I wanted to take a minute to share with you a little bit about my heart, about why I do Usborne Books and More. And really it's to help you, and I wanted to explain a little bit more about that. Um, the, the reason that I'm sharing this today is because oftentimes my heart doesn't come through when I'm meeting people at an event, or even if I'm especially if I'm at an online event or whatever, it just doesn't come through. So I wanted to share with you a little bit about who I am and why I care about these things and how I want to help you. So first of all, the overarching thing here is that I love books, and I really do think they are the ticket to a lot of good things in life. They're the ticket to increased knowledge. They're the ticket to finding out about different points of view. They're just an amazing resource that we have, and literacy is one of the hugest needs worldwide right now. It's literally one of the top 5 biggest needs in the world. But beyond that, there is such joy in connecting with your family. There just is, and no matter how you choose to connect with your family, whether you're talking about kids, grandkids, nieces and nephews, there's real huge joy in connecting. And several studies have found recently that one of the best ways to connect people is by reading aloud to them. Now my children are 16 and 19 years old, and occasionally, like for example this morning, I still will read aloud to them. And my mom, who was a teacher in her former life, now she's retired, she just finished reading Old Man and the Sea to them when we were together. They live far away, and so when we get together, she reads to them. And I know, because they have told her, that they don't want to stop anytime soon. So books will really help you connect with your family. Reading aloud, that is, will help you connect with your family better and more and differently than almost anything else. And it will really help your family. So that's really where my heart is. But I have 3 or 4 special areas that I wanted to talk about real quick before I let you go. My mom was behind the legislation to get gifted education classified as part of special education in Washington State. She actually received 2 Lifetime Achievement Awards from her Gifted Ed Association in the state for the work that she did, and part of the reason that she got involved with gifted education was because of her difficulties raising moi. I don't want to brag or anything, but it's hard to raise gifted kids, and I have 2 gifted kids, so I'm there in the trenches with you. Now I will tell you that we're, on some level, nearly done raising our gifted kids. Jacob, our oldest, is 19, and he is in the Honors College at UMass Amherst, studying, of all things, physics. I feel like I live in the Big Bang Theory sometimes. I swear I do. But gifted kids have this thirst for knowledge that is hard to quench. A lot of times parents of 4-year-olds will complain. They ask why all the time. And with gifted kids, it just doesn't start at 3 or 4. It starts at about 6 months old. And it goes all the way up. So I have a heart for helping parents of gifted kids find the right book, whether that's Usborne or not. If you have questions about, what books might be appropriate for your kid, I am perfectly happy to recommend books that I have also read. And to help you that way. That's really where my heart is, because I know how important books are to gifted kids especially. But I also mentioned very briefly special needs, and one of the things that most folks don't know about me is that when I was a kid, I didn't have any friends at all. I was a very extroverted person, but I was placed into a very bad situation, and I just kind of withdrew. So most of my friends were actually special needs folks. One of my best friends, Bobby Joe, had Down syndrome. Another one had dwarfism. They were ostracized in their own, for their own special needs. And I know that parents of children with special needs and grandparents of children with special needs have to be special kinds of fighters to get the kids in their lives what they need. So whether you're looking at ADD or dyslexia or autism or anything else, you have a horrible, long, nasty, hard fight, already. And I really would love to make that easier on you in whatever way I can, because I know that it's a hard fight, and it's not easy, and I'm there with you. So that's my heart for special needs. But the third area that I have real special feelings about is my homeschooling friends. I begged to be homeschooled when I was a child. I begged. And I begged my husband to let us homeschool our children. And my mother didn't homeschool me, in part because she didn't feel like she had the resources available to her. Not necessarily books as much, and of course she was a teacher too, but as much as emotional support. And so for my not gifted, but for my homeschooling friends, I'm here for you. I would love to provide you emotional support. I would love to be your Usborne consultant. I'm honored to be your Usborne consultant, and I'm glad that you look to me for these particular resources. But I did end up homeschooling one of my kids for a couple years, and I am happy to share what worked for me, and outside of Usborne too. For those parents who have normal kids who are in the public schools or whatever, or even private schools, I hope you guys don't feel totally left out, because I love you guys too. There's a saying out there, everybody's normal till you get to know them, and I think that that's absolutely true. Most kids will perseverate, to use an autism word, on one or two things, whether it's sports or music or whatever have you. And so I'm happy to help with whatever your kids' interests and abilities are, because I think all kids are special in their own ways. Some struggles are a little bit more of a struggle than others, but every child deserves to have the very best books in the world, and the very best resources of all sorts. So that's where my beliefs are, and that's why I do what I do. And I hope that this has shown you a little bit more about who I am, and that you'll feel comfortable reaching out to me for whatever recommendations you'd like, for a virtual hug or for a real hug if we meet in person, so that you can so that we can connect on a better level ourselves. I don't know about you, but I always love making new friends. So I'm really looking forward to serving you in the future. Thanks. Bye.